Thursday. Welcome everybody into the live. Welcome. Today I'm going to be walking you through a simple plan to land a dream job, a high-paying job in 30 days or less. So today is June 9th. And if you're someone who says, man, I want to be in a new job, making the money I deserve to be making by July 9th, 30 days, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And I'm going to be walking you through the reasons why you don't get calls for your resume, why you don't think that there are jobs open out there, so you don't know how to use job boards. I'm going to talk to you about that. I'm also going to talk to you about job interviewing, and most people destroy their job chances and their offer chances in an interview. In the first 120 seconds, you lose the job offer. I'm going to talk to you about what 2 questions every hiring manager will ask you that determine whether or not you're going to keep going forward and how you should or should not be responding. Okay. So if this is your first time in the live, please tap the screen 60 times. Let's spread the live out as much as we can. I am going to be walking you through exactly what you need to do, what hiring managers are looking for, why you are not getting calls for your resumes, why you don't think there are jobs open. You're spending a lot of time doing applications and you shouldn't be. I'm going to talk to you about the number of jobs you should be applying to on a daily basis, and I'm going to talk to you about interviewing. I'm also going to share with you how you can send a 3-sentence email reply, and I'm going to tell you what that email reply is when you get a written job offer, and they will give you $2,000 to $10,000 more in the offer without you losing the job, without you losing the offer. They will say yes, and I'm going to tell you why they say yes. So if this is your first time seeing me, let me tell you who I am just really quickly. I promise I'll take no more than 15 seconds. I have been in talent acquisition and recruiting for 36 years. I design the entire hire process for every company that I work for. When a hiring manager needs to hire for a job, they come to my offices and I sit down and talk to them about the job. I create the job description and the pay range that you see. Once I get their approval, I then publish it in the applicant tracking system. I manage the applicant tracking system as a VP or a director. And that job immediately goes to our career site, and I manage the jobs on our career site, which then goes to the job boards where you see it. And when you apply, I manage all of our job board accounts as well. And when you apply, your resume comes right back to our applicant tracking system, where I am the person who says, yes, you can interview with the hiring manager, or no, you cannot. So I'm going to tell you why they say you cannot interview. I'm going to explain that to you. During this live, if you have any questions, I will answer those questions for you as best as I can while I get through the live. Okay? All right, so let's get going. Make sure you grab a pen and a piece of paper. I'm going to take a quick swig. And we're going to get started. All right. So the situation is you are in a job you either don't like or you're ready to leave, not getting promoted, not making the money you want to make. People on the job, they stink, whatever the case is. You don't like where you're working and you want to change jobs. It is easy, simple and easy for you to follow a plan where you can literally, if you started today, you can literally be working in a new job in the next 30 days or less. Okay? So this is what I train everyone on my fast track program to do, what I'm going to share with you. Okay. So there are 4 parts to the process for being hired and getting a higher paying offer. Part number 1 is when you see an open job, right? On a job board, on a career site, it doesn't matter. You have to apply to that job, and to apply to that job, you must submit a resume. Okay? All right. So there are big issues that most of you have with your resume, which is the reason why hiring managers don't pick you to interview. That's why you get rejection letters. That's why they don't select you. And I'm going to tell you what those reasons are. There are 4 or 5 primary reasons why they do not select you. Reason number 1, every job solves a problem for a company. Okay? So when a company is looking to hire someone and you submit your resume, they are looking to see something on your resume to help them to determine that you are the answer they've been looking for. Most of you don't have it on your resume, which is why you don't get calls. Okay? I spoke to a lady today who said, I have been submitting my resume and no one has been calling me. And I said, okay, well, did we do your resume? Well, no, we didn't do the resume. So let me take a look at it. And when I looked at her resume, I said, I can tell you exactly why no one is calling you. And if you don't fix it, you are going to grow more frustrated. Number 1, I said to her, and I'm saying this to you, when a hiring manager looks at your resume, they do not see how you are the solution to their problem. You think what you are showing them or what they want to see is your work history. They don't. No one cares about your work history when they're trying to make a determination about whether or not they're going to interview you. Okay? The purpose of your resume is to get you a job interview. So your resume should be positioned as a document that markets your skill. Okay? I'm going to paint a picture for you so you understand exactly what a hiring manager is looking for. You have 10 seconds to grab the attention of a hiring manager or a recruiter to get them to call you. 10. I have viewed more than 750,000 resumes in my career and built some of the largest companies, call centers, tech support centers, pediatric urgent care clinic centers, hospitals in the country as a recruiter. And we have one job, one. That job is to show the hiring manager what they asked us to show them with respect to your skill and the job they want someone to do. Your resume does not do that. Let me paint a picture for you by giving you this example. Imagine today you woke up this Tuesday morning and you walked into your kitchen and your floor was flooding and you didn't know where the water was coming from. So you looked underneath your sink and you see that water was pouring out of your wall. A pipe broke. Okay? So you pick up your phone and you call a bunch of plumbing companies. 1 hour later, 3 people show up at your door. One person has on a white shirt, khaki pants, and a plumber's belt with tools, but there's nothing written on the shirt. Another person has on a black t-shirt, khaki pants, and a plumber's tool belt, but there's nothing written on that person's shirt. The third person standing there has on a gray t-shirt, a plumber's belt, khaki pants, but across the top of that t-shirt, it says in all bold cap letters, expert plumber. Okay? So you have one person standing there with nothing on their shirt, another person standing there with nothing on their shirt, and one person standing there, it says expert plumber. Of the 3 people that I just described to you, which of those people would you be most likely to invite into your house to fix your problem? Type in the chat 1, 2, or 3. Which person would you be most likely to invite into your home to fix your problem? Now, most people, when I pose this scenario to them, will say number 3. Okay? Now, the reason why they say number 3, and I see you guys are typing in number 3, The reason why I say number 3 is because that person clearly identified themselves as the person who could solve your problem. They didn't talk to you. You didn't interview them. You didn't screen them. You didn't have a conversation with him. You didn't ask for credentials or nothing. That is what your resume is supposed to do. When we look at resumes, we look to see, does this person do what we want someone to do or need someone to do in terms of solving our problem? And most of you do not understand that. So you must clearly tell a hiring manager boldly, not through work history, not through previous job titles. You must clearly, at the top of your resume, it must say expert, senior, experienced, whatever you do, recruiter, scrum master, IT pro, call center representative, salesperson. It doesn't matter what it is. That's the first thing we want to see. If we don't see that, we throw your resume in the trash can. Just telling you the truth. And this is what we're thinking. Why did this person submit their resume to this job? That's what we're thinking. And we throw your resume away. I.e., we send you a rejection letter by dispositioning you in the system as not qualified. Okay? That's when you get a rejection email. Thank you so much for applying. We appreciate it. We decided not to go with you at this time, whatever that is. I'm the one that creates that message. And I'm the one that sets the triggers when we disposition you to one thing or the next thing in the applicant tracking system. We don't pick you, not because you're not experienced, not because you haven't done the job. We don't pick you because you failed to show us how you are the person who we called around for to solve our problem. Expert plumber. Okay? So your resume fails to communicate that. Now, when you show people that you are an expert, whatever it is, you have just, in the mind of the hiring manager, established credibility. Okay? This is without anybody speaking to you. We're going to talk about job interviewing in just a second, but you have established credibility. The second thing they want to see, now that they know you've done, you do the work, before they call you, they want to know the next thing. So the plumber standing there, it says expert plumber, and right underneath it, expert plumber, it says with 20 years of expertise, right? You are failing to show hiring managers how many years experience you have doing what you're doing. Many of you make hiring managers, you think hiring managers are going to do this. They have to count the number of years of experience you have in order to determine your level of expertise. Let me give you a little secret here. Your pay is determined by your resume, not the interview. Hiring managers make a predetermined decision about what they are willing to pay you based on your resume. So if the level of your expertise is not clear by you indicating the number of years experience you have, you will not get the highest pay. Many of you fail to do that. Okay? The third thing every hiring manager wants to see, and virtually 100% of you do not have this on your resume. It's missing. Okay? And this is one of the things that hiring managers really, really want to know. So when a hiring manager comes and sit down and talk to me and they tell me they want someone to do X, I say, how much of X does this person need to be able to do? A good example would be, let's say the hiring manager needs to hire someone for payroll. And let's say the company processes 5,000 people for payroll every 2 weeks. They are looking for someone who can process 5,000 or more people per week. So if you have only processed 150 to 300 people every 2 weeks, to a hiring manager, you are not qualified. So if you don't show them your metrics, revenue generated, cost savings, number of this you've done, number of that you've done, that speaks to how good you are at doing it. Almost every single one of you do not have this on your resume. So now hiring managers are frustrated because they're like, okay, I see they have 20 years experience, but 20 years experience doing what? Right? So you're missing metrics, numbers, revenue generated, cost savings, percentage of this, percentage of that. That's what hiring managers want to see. Okay? Those three things are what make a hiring manager say, yes, I want to talk to this person in an interview. Now, there's one additional thing that you can add to your resume that will make a hiring manager want to call you first. Okay? So if they have 5 resumes in front of them and they're trying to figure out who they want to call first, this next thing that I'm about to share with you will make them say, call this person right now. Okay? It's called a value statement. You ever hear somebody say, well, what do you bring to the table? Not in an interview, I'm talking about in general. What do you bring to the table? Okay? Every hiring manager, they're not going to say this to you, but they want to know this. They want you to answer this question. If I hire you, how are you going to help me? How are you going to help my life become easier? How are you going to fix my problem? How are you going to help me? That's what they want to know. So a value statement tells a hiring manager in one sentence how you are going to help them without you even interviewing. Okay? So a value statement, Nike does this. Okay? Nike says this. We have a brand new shoe coming out on June 9th. They don't say it's made of rubber, canvas, and laces. They don't speak about the shoe from that perspective in hopes that you'll buy. What they say is, this shoe is going to help you to jump fast, jump higher, run faster, go further, be more comfortable. It tells you the benefits you get. So every single one of us, we're looking, the reason why we engage with jobs, the reason why we do these things is because there's a benefit. The reason why you listen to me is because the benefit is if you listen to what I'm sharing with you and you do it, you're going to get a job. That's the benefit. I help people land higher paying jobs in 30 days or less. That's what I help people do all day, every day. I help people on my fast track program get higher paying jobs every single day. It's my 30-day program. So why should someone listen to me? Why should someone work with me? Why should someone become a client? Because I'm going to help you get hired. This is not it's not a guessing game. I guarantee it. If a person does exactly what I say do, you will be hired. I don't care who you are. We just signed a guy who is the president of a nonprofit organization. Okay, to our fast track program. I made a solemn commitment to him. You're gonna have offers in the next 30 days. It's not I'm not guessing it. I know it's going to happen because I know how it works. So I help you land a higher paying job in 30 days. How do you communicate on your resume how you help a hiring manager? That plumber, right? The way they list it is they say, I help you stop your leaky sink in 5 minutes or less. Okay. There's no question that you're going to want to use this person. There's no question that you're going to want to pay this person top dollar. There's no question that this person has the skill to solve your problem. And there's no question that they're the only person you're going to invite in your house. The other two people, because they failed to tell you how they can help you. Let me say that again. The other two people who are standing at your door failed to tell you how they can help you solve your problem. You are failing to tell hiring managers how you are going to help them solve their problem. Yes, every job solves a problem. You're failing to do that. That's why nobody's calling you. Okay? So your resume is the key to getting you in the door, to getting selected, to getting an interview. So if a person comes to me and says, Daniel, I am not getting calls back, I say, how many jobs did you apply for? And they tell me, and I say, the problem is your resume. I can tell you that. Without even looking at your resume, I can tell you, if you apply to so many jobs, you are going to get so many responses. But if you are applying to so many jobs and you're not getting responses, I'm a recruiter that sits in front of a computer all day and looks at people's resumes. And if you're not getting picked, it has nothing to do with anything. The only thing it has to do with your resume stinks. They don't like it. They don't trust you. They don't think you're credible. They're not going to call you. And it's not going to change. You can wish it, hope it, pray about it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change. And that's a big issue that a lot of people have. Your resume. So I'm going to review people's resumes today. Okay, Jazzy, what do you mean you're overwhelmed with replies? You're overwhelmed with a bunch of people replying to you from the jobs you're pushing out there, right? Jazzy, you're on the Fast Track program. I think you are. Okay. So, yes. Now, so here's the thing. So, Jazzy, I know you're on the Fast Track program. So I want you to just pay attention to me really quickly. Okay. Don't become overwhelmed with the number of replies you're getting. I promised you that if you apply to the jobs the way that I told you to apply to jobs, that a bunch of people are going to be replying to you. Okay, I know you're working, so just pay attention to me, Jazzy. I want to pay attention for just a second. The reason why I tell you to do it the way that you do it is you're doing it properly. You're applying in the morning, hopefully, and then a bunch of people are coming back to you and sending you replies. Good, bad, indifferent. A bunch of people are, right? The reason why I want you to get so many replies is because I want you to have control. This is the process on the Fast Track program, is I want you guys to have complete control over the process, okay? Don't focus your attention on all of the replies at the same time. Don't look at your inbox and say, oh my goodness, 5 people want to interview me today. And that happens every day, right? Or 5 people are asking me for information, and that's happening every day. Just take a second, breathe, and you have my cell number, so reach out to me. Just take a second and breathe and look through the ones that you want to reply to and reply. That's it. Just send a simple reply. Love to talk to you. Let me know what works best for you. And then you schedule them around your schedule at work. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed with it. I promised you that you were going to get a bunch of calls or emails or replies on the Fast Track program. That's what's happening. So don't let the number of people who are responding to you overwhelm you. Just take it one step at a time. Okay, so I hope that's helpful to you. And reach out to me if you need me, Jazzy. Yeah, and I know it's a good thing. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a lot, right? Most people, Jazzy, who come to me like you did on the Fast Track program, they're not getting enough replies. Okay, they're like, oh my God, nobody's reaching out to me, and they don't know what to do. So what I've taught you and what I've trained you on the Fast Track program is I've shown you a simple, easy way to get a bunch of people to reply to you to say, I want to interview you. And it all started with, obviously, we fix your resume. They see what they want to see. Now they want to reach out to you and call you. Okay. So I know it's a good thing. And I'm not confused, but I just want you to just breathe, right? It's a lot of emails coming your way. So just breathe and take it one step at a time. And if you need me to help you, just kind of let me know. Anyway, so one of the reasons why people do not get calls is because your resume does not show the hiring manager what they want to see. Every hiring manager, when I am submitting a candidate to a hiring manager, before they read your information, this is what they ask me. Okay? I learned this 28 years ago. They say, okay, so they know I know the position that they're hiring for. Keep pressing like. If you please, I'm asking you guys. I want us to get to 1,000 likes. So if you would tap the screen to get to 1,000 likes, that's our first goal. It spreads the live out through the platform so other people can join. All right. So how you doing, Nisi? So when a hiring manager says, Daniel, okay, you're ready to submit these resumes to me, but tell me, what do these people do? Right? I have to tell them that. This is before they look at your resume, and then I'll add in, well, this is how long they've done it, and this is how much of it they've done, right? So this person is an expert, top out of the scale from 1 to 10, they're 9.5 or whatever, right? So I'll tell them that before they look at your resume, and they end up saying, okay, well, let me go ahead and schedule this person for an interview, okay? And they want to see the information that I'm talking about. They want to see it on your resume. They don't want me to just say it. They want to see it written on your resume. Okay. So the top reason why you're not getting phone calls back is because your resume does not attract the attention of hiring managers and recruiters. That's the number one reason. So you are going to get a rejection letter that says, thank you, but no thank you. And the reason why they sent that letter is because when they looked at your resume, it was not clear how you could help them. Just like those 3 people standing at your front door. You could only tell that one of them was a plumber. The other 2 people failed to tell you what they do, even though they may have been more experienced than the person who had expert plumber on their t-shirt. So that's number 1. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you another reason why you are not getting interviews and callbacks. This reason is going to shock you. I challenge you to search the internet. You will not find another person that says what I'm about to tell you right now. Why am I submitting my resume to jobs and no one is calling me back? What is wrong with me? 1, your resume doesn't attract the attention of hiring managers and recruiters. But the second reason why is this. Today is Tuesday. Let's say we published a position yesterday and it came to the job board today. And let's say you saw that job posting this morning and you started applying to the job. You applied to the job. Every person that applies to the job after you, your resume continues to go down the list. Okay? 2 to 3 days after the job has been on a job board is when recruiters start looking at candidates on the requisition that they want to select to pre-screen. One of the reasons why you may not be getting called is not because you're not qualified, not because you don't want the job, not because you're not doing the work, but it is because when we start looking at candidates 3 days later, we don't start with the first person who applied. We start with the last person who applied. So your resume is at the bottom of the pile and we never ever got to it. If that is a surprise to you, type OMG. So you're not getting called in some cases because your resume is at the bottom of the pile. Yep. And there's nothing you could do to change that. Because the job of a recruiter is to find candidates. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The job of a recruiter is to find candidates in the pile that a hiring manager will interview and select. That is not always the best candidate in the pile. We do not go through every resume. We don't do that. If we find 15 people before we get to you, we will never get to you. And 3 weeks later, you'll receive a rejection letter that says, we decided to go with someone else. Thank you for applying. Half of your applications fall into this category. Half of those applications are rejected because your resume doesn't show hiring managers what they want. I'm starting to paint a picture here for you. The third reason why you are not getting calls for interviews. You're not applying to enough jobs. This is a big, big problem that almost every single one of you have. I'm going to tell you how many jobs you should be applying to. But what I want you to tell me in the chat, just really quickly, the first 20 people, how many jobs do you apply to on average every week? Type the number in the chat. First 20 people. How many jobs do you apply to on a weekly basis? So exquisite. 30. User 577. 8. The average person, Kenneth, 20. The average person will apply to 20 to 25 jobs a week. I want you guys to please listen to me. No one else is going to tell you this. Okay, they're not going to tell you this. I come on every day and I tell you this every single day. And I will continue to tell you every day. I've been telling clients this for years. Every day I'm going to tell you guys this. Okay? Most of you have no idea what's happening when your resume, when you click submit. The number of applications you should be applying to, jobs you should be applying to every single day until you get an offer. Every single day is 100 jobs a day, 700 jobs a week. That's the magic number. I'm telling you, 700 jobs a week. That's how many jobs you have to apply to if you want to get hired in 30 days or less. I'm not just spewing out information. I'm going to tell you why that is the magic number. If that is a surprise to you, type, wow, 100 a day, 700 a week. Yes, that's the number. And I'm going to explain to you why. That's why you're not getting calls. Please listen to me. Listen. If you apply to 30 jobs a week, you should never tailor your resume to a job, ever. Hiring managers hire skill. Don't tailor your resume. You should never do that, ever. Nobody cares about the tailoring. They want to know very specifically. If you are a payroll person, I don't care what industry you came from. I don't care what you do. Industry doesn't matter. Let me give you another good example. This is why you don't tailor, Sai. So let me tell you why you don't tailor. And I'm going to explain to you guys about the 100 jobs a day in just a second. This is why you should never tailor your resume to a job. Hiring managers care about the function of the work you do. I talked to a lady today from New York City. She does hotel housekeeping. She has 15 years experience, supervisory management experience, hotel housekeeping. Daniel, we did her resume. She says, I'm struggling to get people to call me. And I said to her, how many applications are you doing a week? Because she's not on my fast track program. So she told me, and I said, that's not enough. She says, well, in New York, there's only this many housekeeping jobs. I said, well, let me look. When I looked, she said it was 130 jobs. When I looked, it was 5,700. Okay? And then I said, you are focusing on hotel housekeeping, but what you really are is you're an expert cleaner. Hospitals use housekeepers. Corporations use building cleaners. Like, you have a skill that translates a lot of different places, but you're looking down this little peephole. And you think that's how you're supposed to be looking. You're not. That's not how it works. So, that's why you never tailor your resume. It makes no sense at all. Hiring managers are looking for people to solve their problem. Nobody asks the plumber who's standing at their door, do they do corporate plumbing or residential plumbing? No, they fix pipes. That's it. We don't care, right? We don't care. I'm a recruiter. Nobody cares if I recruited in medical or technical or call center. They don't care. They want to know, can you find, screen, and evaluate talent that we need to hire? That's all they care about. I'm a recruiter. Okay? So yes, I agree with you, Sai. You've been going about this all wrong. Okay, so now, why 100? Please listen to me. For those of you who are still here, why should you do 100 applications a day? And by the way, you can do 100 applications a day using LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com in 30 minutes. Jazzy was just on TikTok saying she's overwhelmed. She's on my fast track program. She's overwhelmed by the number of replies she's getting from her applications. Let me explain to you. See, you think if you apply to 30 jobs, you're being considered by 30 companies. You're not. You're not even being considered by one company. Well, maybe one. So let me explain to you. Please pay attention. 1 out of every 10 applications you put in will get seen. I'm glad I'm ruining your life. 1 out of every 10 applications. Let me explain. So when you apply to jobs, let's say you apply to 30 jobs a week, half of those jobs, they're closed. The jobs have been filled weeks before. I'm going to explain to you how I know why. Half of them are closed. You are applying to closed jobs. Now, Let me explain to you why I know they're closed. Remember, I'm the one that manages the applicant tracking system and the job boards. So I know exactly how job boards work. This is what happens. When I publish a position in the applicant tracking system, it immediately goes to our career site, and 6 to 8 hours later or next day, it goes to the job board where you see it. You apply to the job. When I close that job and I fill it and I close it in our applicant tracking system, it immediately removes it from our career site. But Career Builder, Monster.com, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Glassdoor, they do not take that job down off of their site until 30 to 60 days after I have closed it. So you're applying to a job. In many instances, half of the instances, the job is closed. So let's use the math. If you apply to 30 jobs, really only 15 of them are open. If that's a surprise to you, type what? Type what in the chat? Yes. Half of them are closed. Now you're only being considered for 15 jobs. And then I told you your resume does not show hiring managers what they want to see. So half of the recruiters will reject you. So now you're down to 7 jobs you're being considered for in that week. Half of those 7 jobs, your resume is at the bottom of the pile. So now you're only being considered for 3 of the 30 jobs each week. See, you thought you were being considered for 30. No, you're being considered for 3. 1 out of every 10 jobs you apply for, somebody will look at your resume and make a decision. That's why on the Fast Track program, we do 100 applications a day, 700 a week, which means they're being considered by 10 companies every day, 70 companies every week, 280 companies in 30 days, which is why they get 4 interviews every single week and 2 to 4 job offers in 30 days if they follow the plan. But you don't know that because you're not on my side of the table. You have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to shed light on why you are not getting calls and why you're not getting jobs. Okay? The 4th reason why is this. Hiring is done in a cycle. It's a 4-week cycle. So if I apply to a job today, June 9th, and if I do not hear back from someone within, let's say, 3 weeks, that job is going to get filled. And guess what? I got to start my search all over again on July 9th. I have to keep doing it every 30 days because the cycle for hiring is 30 days. Week 1, we gather candidates. Week 2, we do pre-screens and hiring manager interviews. Week 3, we do final interviews and we make offers at the end of week 3. Week 4, offers are signed and we close the job. That's the hire cycle for almost every job in every organization. That's the hire cycle. So the problem is you are not getting selected because you are functioning outside of the process. Sam says, thank you so much for your feedback. You're welcome. I appreciate that. Braden says, you're telling the truth. Is that why you need 700 applications a week? Yes. And here's the problem. The reason why people think 700 is a lot is because they don't know how to search for jobs properly on job boards. Most people, your search is very, very narrow. I'm going to make a statement here. and this is what I share with everyone on my fast track program. For every one job title that you have, I can show you in seconds 50 other job titles that are different from the job title you have that do the exact same thing in another company. Same skill, same history, same everything. The only difference is they changed the name. Recruiting, talent acquisition, talent specialist. There's all kinds of words that they use, titles they use for talent acquisition and recruiting. Hiring specialist. Okay? A bunch of different titles, but it's all the same work. So, because the only thing you are familiar with is your title, and you don't know how to find all of the other titles associated with the job titles you've had, your search is very limited. On the Fast Track program, what I show people is how to take one title, and I show them how to find 50 other job titles that other companies use, and they can start looking for jobs that way and applying for jobs that way. That's why it works. And most of you, the reason why I say 700 applications a week, most of you are spending 35 minutes to do the long application, either on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, or Indeed.com, or the company's career site, when the only thing we want from you is your resume. We don't care about the application information that you're submitting. You'll see in just a second. We only want your resume. So I tell people on my Fast Track program, do not do long applications. If the application is more than 10 to 15 seconds, don't do it. Every application you do should be easy apply, quick apply, or one-click apply. Every single one. I don't care who's hired. Whenever I am being hired for a job, a lot of times the company will hire me because they're like, we have low applicant count. Okay? So I do an evaluation. There's only a couple reasons why. Number one, you have low applicant count because your job postings suck. You don't tell candidates what they want to know. Every candidate wants to know 4 things. We'll talk about that another time. Second reason why is you are forcing people to do a long application. Spend 35 minutes doing your stupid application when they don't even know if you're going to call them. So the average drop-off time for an application is 12 minutes. And when I share that data with executives, they're like, what? Yeah, see, you have all of this pride in this company you've been at for 20 years, but these candidates out here don't give a rat's tail about you. They're looking for work. They're looking to solve someone's problem. And you are forcing them to go through a long, drawn-out process to try to get to you. So guess what? They're going to go find a job somewhere else and not apply to your jobs, which is why your applicant count is so low. So I tell everyone, don't make candidates fill out the long application. All you want is their resume anyway. We can have them fill out the application data post-interview. So that's a reason why you are not applying to enough jobs. 700 is the number. 700 a week. Every week. And that's what I show people on the Fast Track program. So that's the issue. Hey, so I'm going to pause here for just a second. I'm going to do resume reviews. For the next couple of minutes, I'll review resumes, and then I am going to move on to job searching and interviewing. Okay? The next 25 people, just take a second, go to your phone or your computer or your tablet, wherever you are, and just forward your resume to me for a free resume review. Daniel at dscds.com. Daniel at dscds.com. On Facebook and Instagram, I have pinned my email in the chat. And on TikTok, it is above my head. Right above the crown of my head, it's Daniel at dscds.com. I will look at your resume. I will review it. I will tell you This is what is missing. This is what you need to fix. This is what you need to change. This is my recommendation. You can do whatever you want to do. It's completely up to you. But if you don't fix this, no one's going to call you. I'm telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So a free resume review. I see several of you are emailing me your resume. James, Shauna, Stuart, Shanique, Mr. Hill, Amber, Mark, another James, Corey, Jeremy, Karen, Robert, Kevin, Patrick. So email me your resume. Take a second. Just forward your resume to me via email. I will review it for free and send you a reply. Yes, Black Butterfly, can I send you a copy of my resume? Yes, send it to Daniel@dscds.com. 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 Just take a second. Next 25 people who send me their resume, I'm going to review it. Now I'm going to talk to you about, as you guys are sending me your resumes, I'm going to talk to you about one of the big problems that you have, right? Most people think there are not a lot of jobs out there right now. There's millions of jobs that are posted right now on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com. In fact, on LinkedIn, there's over 4 million jobs posted right now. 4 million. So if you don't know how to filter jobs correctly, or if you don't know how to search for jobs correctly, you're going to have issues. You should never use more than 2 keywords when you are searching for a job on a job board. Never more than 2 keywords, because the job board doesn't recognize it. Okay? When you search for jobs on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com, you're telling it, when you put in words, right? Let's just hypothetically say you put in the word, one word. It'll find every job that has that one word on it. Let's say you put in 10 words. You are telling it, find me jobs that are on your site that have all 10 of these words in it, and nothing will come back. That's why you don't have any jobs to apply to. This happens to a lot of people on my Fast Track program. And what I do in 3 days of them starting the Fast Track program, I change their entire life by showing them. These are all of the jobs that are open that you missed right now. So start applying to these jobs. Okay. All right. So keep sending your resume. Kiana, I see your resume. Shaniqua, I see your resume. Shauna, I see yours. All right. So keep sending your resumes. How many of you get stressed out? Okay. How many of you get stressed out when it's time to interview for a job? Type me in the chat. How many of you get stressed out when it's time for you to interview? Type me in the chat. Sam says, what are the best websites to spam your resume without having to do long process? LinkedIn is the #1 job board on the planet, but it will only let you do 30 to 35 at a time, a day. Indeed is #2. ZipRecruiter is #3. So there are many of you who get stressed out. I see you guys typing in the chat that you get stressed out because of interviews. I'm going to make this very easy for you. I'm going to show you how to never, ever be stressed out for an interview ever again. I'm going to explain to you why you're not getting a job offer and why you're losing the job literally in the first 120 seconds. Okay? So spamming your resume simply means how many applications you can do in a row, right? LinkedIn will let you do 30 easy apply applications right in a row. It takes 10 minutes. All right. So here's the deal. I'm going to talk to you about what the job interview is about. So I want you to understand what the job interview is about, because most of you, almost every single one of you, you walk into the interview with a wrong understanding of what the job interview is all about. I am going to paint a picture so you can see it, and you will get a feeling in your gut once I paint this picture for you. So I'm going to make a bold statement here. It's going to go against everything you know, everything you've ever thought. Here it is. When you do a job interview, never, ever talk about your previous work history. Ever. If that's a surprise to you, type, what? Don't talk about my work history. What you talking about? Never, ever talk about your work history. Ever. You shouldn't even mention it. You shouldn't talk about where you worked before and what you did before. Ever. Don't do it. Stop it. Daniel, how am I going to sell myself? You're not supposed to be selling yourself in an interview. That's not the purpose of the interview. No, it's not. You're doing it wrong. Let me explain to you why. The purpose of the job interview is not for you to talk about your work history. Why, Daniel? Because we already have your work history in your resume. We've already seen it. We know you can do the job. That's not an issue. We already know you can do the work. That's why we picked you. That's why we said we want to interview you. See, you thought we picked you because we wanted to talk to you about your work history so that we can be convinced that you can do the work. No. No. We're already convinced that you can do the work. That's why we picked you. You don't get picked when we don't know if you can do the work. Okay? Yes, Sam, I'm going to clarify right now. So, you don't talk about your work history because we already have your work history in front of us. It's right here. It's called your resume. We looked at it already. We know you can do the work. We are familiar with what you've done. Okay? All right. Now, so, well, wait a minute, Daniel. Hold on. Come on, man. What you talking about? If we're not supposed to talk about our work history, then what are we supposed to talk about? That's the right question. You don't know what the job interview is actually about. So I'm going to tell you. The job, when you are selected for the job, your resume is being picked because of your skill. But the reason why we hire you is not because of your skill. Oh, I'm about to give you some game right now. Listen. Hiring managers don't hire you because you can do the job. That's not why they make you a job offer. You thought that the reason why they picked you is because you could do the job. No, that's the reason why they pick you to interview. That's not why they make you an offer. Hiring managers look at your resume and pick you for skill, but they interview you to see about your character, not your skill. You are being given a job offer because your character matches what they want, not your skill. You ever go to a job interview and you know you could do the job with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back in the bathroom, about to take a shower, brushing your teeth. You could do it that way, right? But you still don't get the job. Why do you think that happened? Because the hiring manager didn't think you had the character necessary. Okay, so they're imagining this. Okay, Daniel is about to interview with me, and I need to find out if he is someone I can work with. So this is what I'm thinking. If I hire Daniel today and I leave to go to the other side of the earth for 2 months, if I leave next week and go to the other side of the earth for 2 months and I have no internet access, no access to a phone, no access to email, I cannot call him and he cannot call me. What they are asking themselves is, I wonder what I am going to come back to when I come back to this company. Is it going to be a mess? Is everything going to be running smoothly? Are we still going to be kicking butt? That's what the job interview is about. Can I trust him to take care of this work in a way that I don't have to worry? Can I trust him with the passwords? Can I trust him to be in the office on time? Can I trust him to say the right things, to do the right things, to complete the work? Can I trust this person to do that? That's what the job interview is about. And they don't know you. The you I'm talking about is the inside. You're who you are. They don't know that. So the reason why most of you blow it in the first 120 seconds, first question every hiring manager asks you is, tell me about yourself. If you've ever gotten that interview question, type yes in the chat. Tell me about yourself. Somebody asked me this today. They started 5 minutes. I almost fell asleep on the phone listening to their answer. Well, when they ask you, tell me about yourself, they're not asking you to regurgitate your work history. They're saying, tell them about your character and the person who is sitting in front of them. Tell me about your best character traits that make you who you are. That's the question. But you go down a rabbit hole and you start talking about all your career accomplishments and the thing that you're most proud of that you've done in your work. And the hiring manager is saying, what? Like, what are you talking about? That's right, Sam. A person's character. It tells you how they will act. Yes. You need to call that college and say, I talked to this guy. Give me my tuition money back. Lower East says, I want my tuition money back. Watch this. So they're saying, when they say, tell me about yourself, they're saying, tell me the character traits that make you who you are. What they're trying to do is they're trying to establish trust. But you answered that wrong. Well, I used to work here. I worked there. I did this. I did that. I got promoted here. I got promoted there. I did this. You talk about your job. Okay? And that's strike one. Okay? Second question they ask you is, oh, I see you working. Or maybe you're not working, but they say, I see you working. Why are you looking to leave your current job? Right? You. Thank you so much for the question. I'm looking for a better opportunity. I'm looking for better pay. I'm looking for growth. I'm looking to better my career. And the hiring manager says, what? So, this is what they're thinking. They don't say this. They're thinking, so wait a minute. You're leaving this company for a better opportunity, which tells me if I hire you and a better opportunity comes along, you're going to leave me too, right? No, thank you. I will pass on you. You think that by telling a hiring manager that you are ambitious that is going to inspire them. No, it repels them. Get it? You don't talk about your ambitions. You don't talk about your career goals. You talk only about how your only desire is to help them. I'm looking to leave my current job because teamwork is very important to me. My goals and my values, they no longer align with that this company that I'm with. Teamwork is important to me, and I believe I can get that here. So you talk about your ambitions. Strike two. How do you know the manager is checked out? That's the last question they will ask you, and then they will start talking about the job itself. Okay, well, this is what the job is all about. This is what we're looking for have somebody do, and this is and they start talking, right? The reason why they do that is because they're trying to get through the interview as fast as possible to get you out of their face. If this is helping you, type "this is helpful" in the chat. I'm getting close. I'm almost done. So, and after they start talking to you about the job and tell you everything that's going on, at the end of the interview, they will say this: do you have any questions for me? Now, be honest with me. In the chat, how many questions do you typically have prepared and you ask at the end of the question, at the end of the interview? How many questions do you typically ask? Write the number in the chat. I'm going to tell you how many you should be asking. Everybody's typing 3 questions, 2 questions. I ask a couple of questions every single time. Yep, sorry, most people, they're wrong. All right, so how many questions should you ask in an interview? You shouldn't ask any questions. You think hiring managers want you to ask them questions? They don't. You think you're showing them that you're interested in the job? They don't care. There's only one question you should ask. One. Only one. Let me explain to you what I mean. At the end of an interview, when a hiring manager says, those are all of the things that I have, do you have any questions for me? They are really saying, this is the end of the interview, and I have made my decision. Okay? This is what they're saying. And then out of courtesy, they say, do you have any questions for me? So, Christy, I'm going to tell you the one question that you can ask that does 2 things. It is going to show them that you're interested in the job, and it's going to tell you whether or not they're going to make you an offer. They will tell you right there on the spot if they're going to make you an offer. Okay? You have to ask one question. Don't ask, what does success look like? What does 30, 60, 90 days look like for you? Why is this position vacant? Tell me about the culture of the company. Don't ask none of that, because you're going to lose the job. Because you're going to ask the hiring manager a question that they do not know the answer to. They're going to be embarrassed. They're going to think that you're smarter than them, and they're going to check out, telling you the truth. So you don't ask no questions. Now, there is one question you can ask, and that question is going to, 1, tell them that you are interested. And number 2, it is going to get them to tell you right on the spot if they're going to make you an offer or not. Here is the question. You say, thank you very much for the interview. I really learned a lot about this exciting opportunity. I do have one question for you. With everything that you share with me, when would you like for me to get started? That's the question you ask. Now, when you ask that question, you just told them, I'm interested in the job. So you don't have to ask all those other questions to show that you're interested. You just answered it. Okay? And then they are going to respond, which will tell you if they're going to make you an offer. If they respond like this, well, we do have several other people that we need to interview. And once we've interviewed everyone, then we will decide who we want to get started. They're not interested in making you an offer. But if they respond like this, well, the next steps are someone from talent acquisition or HR will reach out to you, get your application completed, get your onboarding done. Offer letter will be coming. We're looking to have everybody start on June 16th. They're going to make you an offer within 2 days because they don't want to lose you. All right? That's why you only ask that one question. I have a training I have to get to. I wanted to stick around a lot longer. I will be on live again. So I want to close by sharing this with you. There are so many people who struggle with getting jobs. Many of you. I have a client. His name is Ron. Ron came to me in February of this year. Ron was on my fast track program. He just graduated from my fast track program in April. Okay? Ron is in his mid-50s, 30 years experience, senior sales account manager. He had been applying to jobs for 8 months. 0 interviews. He was applying to about 15 jobs per week. So he came to me. It was in one of my trainings, one of my classes. So he says, man, you talked about this fast track program. Tell me more about it. Do you think you can help me? I said, yes, I think I can. So Ron decided, I'm going to make the investment and I'm going to hop on the fast track program, which he did. And so Ron joined the fast track program March 5th. Senior sales account manager, was previously making $120,000 a year. I promised him if he did everything I told him to do, he would not only have a job in 30 days, but it would be making more than what he made before. Okay? So Ron joined the fast track program, 700 applications in week 1. In week 2, he had 4 interviews. I said, do not stop doing applications. Don't get excited about these interviews. Keep going. By the end of week 2, he had 2 hiring manager interviews. And in week 3, he had 3 more initial screenings. And at the end of week 3, he had 2 offers, written offers in his email. So he came to me and said, Daniel, I got 2 offers. I want to hold off though on accepting these offers because I want, I have these final interviews on Monday with these other 2 companies. I want to see what they offer first. And I was like, man, see, now you're getting all fancy on me, man. So I said, send this email back. They'll give you a day or 2. So he interviewed on Monday, April 6th. And he was supposed to be in a meeting with me that evening. We have a group meeting every Monday evening. But he didn't show up. So I was like, what? What's going on? He showed up at every meeting, but he didn't show up at this. So I thought he was going to reach out to me on Tuesday to kind of say, hey, I decided to go to one of these other offers, but he didn't. Tuesday, he sent me an email, and this is what it says. Hey, Coach Daniel, I wanted to let you know I accepted a position. I know you wanted to have a chat with me about the offer, but honestly, they met everything I requested in terms of salary, vacation, paid holidays, all of that good stuff. And he said, and their pension plan as well. He says, my new role will be as commercial manager in the medical business unit with commercial responsibilities over 6 shared locations with customer service managers and operational teams who do not report directly to the medical business unit, but to me. He says, Coach, your program is outstanding, and I will be more than happy to provide an exceptional endorsement for your program. Your formula really does work. Thank you so much. Best regards, Ron. So there are many of you who are in the same situation, desperate, right? And you get information that gives you the answer that you've been looking for. What's the difference between Ron and you, right? For 8 months, Ron was trying and nothing worked. And he had an opportunity that was presented to him. I did a training. It's up to him. Whether he decided to jump on the fast track program or not, it didn't matter to me. I know the program works, and I take 30 to 60 people every single month, so he could do whatever he wants to do. You can too. But what did he do? He decided, okay, I'm going to take a chance. I've heard, you've told me, you explained, you read my mail, you told me exactly what's going on, and these are all of the problems that I'm having, so help me. So I did. Ron got a job, $140,000 a year, $20,000 a year more than he was making at his previous job that he had been at for 3 years. And now he has this awesome job. Desperate. He's in his mid-50s. Didn't know how he was going to retire. Had no idea. Thought he was being aged out of the market. No, the issue is he did not have a plan that worked. He didn't understand what's happening behind the scenes. I do. And that's why he joined the Fast Track program. That's what I'm offering to you. What do I have to offer? I'm going to tell you now. So, if you think that you have an issue with your resume and you're not getting replies, or you're not getting jobs, you're not getting replies, nobody's interviewing you, your resume is probably the issue. If you want me to review your resume for free, you just email it to me. The email is here. It's going to be in my bio. Email me. Please review my resume. In my reply, I'll tell you what you can do to fix it. But you might say, I don't want to fix it. Can you fix it for me? And the answer is yes. Okay? So yes, I have a lot of experience in life science and biotech space. So you might say, I want you to fix it. Well, what would it cost for me to fix it? If you want me to do a resume only for you, it's $75. If you want to do a resume plus a cover letter, it's $88. And if you want me to do your resume and a cover letter, plus a LinkedIn job board optimized resume, plus I'm going to give you my top 50 interview questions and answer cheat sheet, that's $97.99. And if you order in the next 15 minutes, you get 5% off. So it's like $93. What is the result you're going to get? You invest $93, takes us 4 business days to do your resume. You're going to get jobs that call you out of the wahoo. Okay? That's how it works. You may say, well, Daniel, I want you to be my recruiter. Okay? You have to send me an email. Just send me an email. It's exquisite. Say, can you review my resume? And I'll respond. You might want me to, you say, Daniel, I want you to be my recruiter. You do it for me. So on my Fast Track program, I am the person who holds your hand for 30 days. I do all of your one-on-one coaching. I do your resume. It's part of it. It's included. So we do your resume and your LinkedIn profile. It's included. And I do all of your one-on-one coaching. I do all of your interview prep. You do a group training with me every single week. You do a group accountability call every single week. Every week on the Fast Track program. How much does it cost, Daniel? It's $497 for the Fast Track program. And my commitment is to make sure you get a job in the next 30 days, making $2,000 to $10,000 more than you're making right now. How do you get signed up for the Fast Track program? And by the way, you don't have to pay $497 today. I let you pay it in 4 months. So it's $124.25 a month for 4 months, right? And we do all of this for you. Even though you're going to get a job in 30 days, you get to pay it out over 4 months. That's how committed we are. If you're interested in the Fast Track program, you simply send me an email, and in the subject line, type Fast Track, and I'll reply with the information. You can decide what you want to do. The difference between where you are right now and where you want to be will be the action you take in this moment. If you do nothing, nothing will change. If you take action, you can at least get the information so you can make a decision about what you want to do. Thank you guys so much for attending this live. I have another meeting I have to run to. I will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. God bless you. I hope to get to work with you. Email me now.